Hey, it's Luis Martin, the art engineer, and we're in Collage Hour, NYC. So, what's going on? I'm already a little tired. It's Sunday. I'm already a little tired. It's Sunday, but I'm here and I want to collage. So, today I want to do something really cool and I want to share something with you about collaging that, sometimes we collage and it's like this idea of perfection. At least for me, I like to be clean. But there needs to be a space where you can be really messy, right? So you can't see it, but I'm looking at this wall and it's just like this huge array of like just stuff. And I collect stuff. One place where I can be really messy is in my journals. So this is one of my books. This is actually my planner. And what I do is I collect all of these crazy things and I put them in a box or under a mat. And then I just reach into it and have all of this material, all this source material where I can just do things spontaneously, right? And I'll show you. So this is my agenda, my planner, where I keep my boarding passes and stuff like that. So it's the opportunity to be messy and not to be perfect. As a matter of fact, I'm very careful about like glue and I try not to get things wet so they don't wrinkle. Here, if I like a composition, I literally just put tape on it and it's good enough. Right? And the idea with this is kind of like a sketch. It's a practice where you can sharpen your eye and think about colors together and think about composition. Because sometimes we don't have space for studio, right? Like I'm really lucky that I have a room with 4 walls and I can make art. But other people have huge studios where they can paint big strokes and make amazing spaces. But some of us, I remember when I was a kid, I had a wall, then I had a drawer, then I had a cabinet. So you evolve and you work with what you have, right? So this is my journal. More than this, over the years, I've kept like this huge behemoth thing where I get to, again, play. And I just get to kind of like, I would never use this kind of tape in a regular collage, right? Or save things like this beautiful face or just like this from an art show that I had, a check, just stuff that I want to keep. And it becomes kind of like scrapbooking, but a little bit more experimental in that you get to play with like, what is this, right? Like, I don't know if it'll appeal to anybody else, but to me, it's like the contrast of colors. It's so beautiful, and I know I can use this lesson into another collage, like say this, where it's a little bit more polished. But you see, even there's a relationship even to that, the colors, the circles. So this whole collaging for your journals is really a really good exercise. So in preparation for this, I've been saving this. But also, I've been collecting words. So when you think of journaling, obviously you think about words, right? So I've been just randomly collecting words that kind of appeal to me because of their fonts. And we're going to use them in creating our collage today. So I'm going to collage straight onto my book. So I'll find a page. And I'm going to be cool and try to do it upside down. Which is also a really good exercise, right? Actually, look what I can do. I can write my name upside down. It's the perk of being dyslexic. All right, so I'm going to try to collage upside down. Let me see if I have an empty page. I'm left-handed, so I start backwards. Okay, so beautiful, empty page. So again, I have these scraps that I've been collecting. And I mean, again, studies in color, right? Actually, look. So this is a really cool positive from this little space from this guy that I used yesterday. I cut him out and I didn't need it, but I saved it. So now I can use it for something. And the cool thing about this is like you instantly create really cool stuff. Like, look at that. Like, whoa. So, all right, let's start. I haven't had coffee and I'm already like wired. I'm like, shh. So look. Okay, like, whoa, we're done, right? And Picasso was once told like, oh, why are you charging me so much for a sketch that you can do in 3 minutes? And the truth of the matter is that he said something like, well, the sketch took me 3 minutes, but I've been practicing all my life, or something to that effect. But that's what this is all about, creating a practice and sharpening your eye, which is really important. So again, I'm just going to be really messy about it because I don't care. I don't want to think about it. I don't want it to be precious. I just want to get this. So I'm taking tape and just going bam. And being really vicious about it and having like a brayer or a roller, which is really helpful to kind of just ease it out. And now I have a study. I have a collage that I can turn to make something else, right? So that's the cool thing about collage. You can never really go wrong. And everything goes. I mean, it's still about composition, right? And I know this eventually will fall, but it's okay. So we have that. Let's see what else we can make with this box. So I save textures, I save more textures, I save colors. I'm also really drawn to like architecture. So even this, like, what does that say, right? Let's see. It's too big for that page. So this is my favorite. When I make a really perfect cutout, like this is of a teapot, so it lends itself to something. If I give it a nice background, that's kind of cool. So there we go. Okay, so this, like I would never collage this and put it on my Instagram and be like, someone buy this. But this is a perfect opportunity for a study or a journal entry, right? This brayer is really cool. It's called a brayer, right? So this is all just happening from scraps and like things that I have. And now I want to play with the words that I've been collecting. Now the thing about journaling is, you know, it's a moment where you can be honest with yourself and just do whatever. So when I think about journaling, I think about stream of conscious. And stream of conscious means you kind of just go with whatever pops into your head. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be positive. It doesn't have to be negative. It's just words. So when you have these words, you can tap into the stream of consciousness and see what happens and have fun with it, right? So let's see. This one says life, work, best, life. This one says everything. Okay, here. The everything me? But see how I love that. Especially if you're a graphic designer, this is a great exercise because you get to play with fonts, you get to play with the sizes, and you're still limited to what you can do. So you can't think about it too much. And that's really important, not to think about things too much. You kind of just go with it, right? Ooh, the everything, place, time. The everything, place. So now we're writing poetry. The everything, the everything renew place. I like that. The everything renew. Is that a thing? The everything renew place. The everything. Yeah, I like that. All right. So here I go again. Another layer of tape, or you can use adhesive, right? Your glue stick. So here we wrote some poetry. Again, this isn't planned or anything, but what I did do in advance is I collected words, cut them out, and I saved my scraps. Like I said, this is a scrap from a previous collage. This is from another collage. So it's just things that I have. Also, sometimes I'll collect things that I know I would never use in a collage, but it moves me, inspires me. So super cool. Let's do a little more. So like this, like why would I keep this, right? But look, it creates a perfect background for something. And if you know my work, I've been doing this series of like yoga poses, which I'm actually doing something with the Zine Fest. But you know, and I think that's the whole thing about collaging, right? The juxtaposition, which is a $5 word of saying putting two things together that don't go together. So when you juxtapose things, new stories come out, right? New stories emerge. That's kind of cool, right? And it's nice to take the time to kind of just play and not have something in mind. Like, I'm not thinking, oh, I'm going to put this on my Instagram for the artist support pledge for people to buy. This is just kind of for me to play around. Like, this is a really cool vintage mail-in thing from the 70s. And it's just, the font is different. So cool. So this gives me a base to play with more words. Like, see, I saved this because, like, this is so cool. It looks like cheese, like neon cheese, right? I don't know, but it's kind of neat. It's kind of like the idea of, like, you know, throwing things up in the air and see what lands. So the top landed. Oh, there we go. Top wind. Top wind time. Top wind war. Top wind solar war. So again, it's just like, what the hell does this mean? It means nothing. See, literally, nothing. Top wind solar war. Solar. Top wind solar nothing. I like that. Oh, I love this. Okay, cool. Where is my tape? So this is a really good collage practice if you're just starting to kind of just get a notebook. It can be any notebook, any type of paper, and just throw things on it and let your imagination go. And don't try to be pretty, don't try to be ugly. Just really see what you gravitate to as far as text, as far as fonts, as far as colors. Because that's how you kind of get your style, you know, or your voice. I could literally do this all day. I know that I have my coffee. So here we go, more poetry. It says, top wind, solar, nothing. And we have a nice finger. So again, this is all about composition, right? We're kind of doing the golden ratio. Do you guys know about the Fibonacci sequence? It's kind of a spiral. I don't know enough to explain it, but it's a spiral where it starts from one unit and it doubles and doubles and creates this. So this is kind of what this is. Look into it if you're into design. Look into it if you want to sharpen up your eye. That'll really help. So we can look back. And I'll show you a little bit more of what I've done in the past. So this is, I mean, these are my brainstorming for my podcasts. These are my journaling. This is my weekly planner. So it's just about being present with yourself and kind of being honest, right? So it's a short video, but I also wanted to share with you a book that I was inspired by when I was 17. It came out. It is The Journals of Dan Eldon, and it's called The Journey is a Destination. And he was his parents were missionaries or something in Africa, so he lived in Africa. He was this white kid who lived in Africa, and he kind of journaled and collaged, and all of the images here are just so beautiful. And he was murdered very soon after he completed his journals. So it's kind of like, this is such a perfect example of the things we leave behind. It's kind of like a testament to a life lived, and nothing but joy and a life lived comes from this, right? Like, check that out. Isn't that cool? I'm doing it on Instagram Live here, so that's why I'm putting it in there. So it's really cool. Check it out. It's called The Journey is the Destination, published in 1997, The Journals of Dan Eldon. Highly recommend it. All right, let me know what you thought of this. And I am Luis Martin, the art engineer. You can see my collages at Collage Dream. You can see what's happening in my studio at luismartinart.com. All right, be well.